morning from DreamHack Dallas 2023. Welcome to the GG4All panel discussion, Meet the Winners, Rocket Clash. And I'm super happy to announce that sitting next to me in the winner's chairs are Gen.G Mobile One Racing Black. Congratulations, team, my God. It was standing room only last night here as we watched Misfits go up against Gen.G, and I gotta tell you, everyone was cheering, everyone was up out of their seat and could not just contain their excitement watching this historical moment. So I'm just excited to introduce the team, so let's get going. To my left is captain of Gen.G Racing Black, Mobile One Racing Black is Courtney, followed by Bella and Kate, LCCorro, Matt Ness, the coach extraordinaire. And then we have a special guest that is joining us. We've got Rebecca Lingawa, former CEO of Women's Carball, amazing, current COO Native Gaming and head of strategy at GameHers. So welcome, Rebecca, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
So let's get started with just having you guys just give us, in our audience who's also live streaming on Twitch, can't forget to say hello to everybody there. Tell everyone a little bit about your background, what brought you to Women's Carball.
Hello, my name's Courtney. I've been playing Rocket League for roughly 7 years, and I've been playing in Women's Carball for roughly 4 years. I've been there basically since the very beginning, and so that's basically how I got into it, and I've been playing every single season.
Wow, thanks. Bella.
Yeah, I basically got in because I've always been a competitor. I've always wanted to compete. And I really had an interest in RLCS, and yeah, I don't know. I think this is my third season, right, Court? Third, fourth?
Yeah, third.
Yeah. We've been teaming for like 2 years almost now,
Yeah.
so yeah. I just love competing, so.
Great. And you?
I've been playing since 2015, since the game came out. Originally, I had taken a break from it, and then I just felt so into the competitive side that I kept going. It was never like a specific goal to go and be competitive until kind of the WCB presented itself, and then I kind of felt like that was the path that I wanted to go.
It's great story with WCB included in that. And Matt, okay, being the only man on the on the stage here this morning, what brought you to Women's Carball?
Yeah, so this is actually my first season involved with WCB and Women's Carball, but I've been Courtney's coach for 1.5 years, close to 2 years now. So pretty much any way that I can support her and the rest of the girls up here, I just couldn't miss out on that opportunity.
Amazing. Now, can I just ask you, do you have experience also in Rocket League?
Oh, I do.
Player? Okay, all right.
I'm a previous player. Shout out to Boise State. Played collegiate for them, so.
Very good, thanks. Rebecca.
Yeah, so I've been working in esports and at a really high level for the past 6 years, starting in investment strategy. And as someone who formerly worked in the NBA, as a woman, I've always had to break barriers and really, have a lot of grit and force kind of my way to be seen. And getting into esports has been, for me, a totally different experience in which the esports community has really propelled me forward, and the industry's made me a leader. And it's been really wonderful, passionate about competition, and being able to bring business acumen from traditional sports into esports has been phenomenal for me.
Yeah, I bet. And we'll dive into that a little bit into the conversation, but let's start with just the fact that you guys came in expecting or hoping to win. You knocked it out of the park. Misfits didn't stand a chance. I mean, I was in the audience and I felt bad. I mean, you guys were so strategic. Anyone want to talk a little bit about what your game plan was before the final started, or how did you guys get in sync to really craft that win?
To be honest, I mean, the big thing for us is going in confident. We want to play our game and not play the opponent's game, and honestly just have fun being on stage. Is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for a lot of people, and so grateful for the opportunity, so we just took the most of it.
Yeah. Bella, do you want to add?
Yeah, we just wanted to go into it enjoying ourselves pretty much. Like, we have a really good team environment, so yeah, I don't know.
All right, Kate, you're not off the hook, so I gotta hear, you're part of the team, so what was your mindset going in?
I think for me, the easiest way to kind of take any competition is to not only just be like happy to be here and like acknowledge everything that, you know, it took for us to get here, but then, you know, also realize that, you know, at the end of the day, we can do it. And we played really well on the day. And I think that, at least for me personally, I struggle with like my own confidence and feeling like I am a good player, like worthy of being here. So I think that, you know, the relief after we won and that feeling of being like, yeah, I am good enough and I was good enough yesterday and I want to keep being that good was just like the most massive relief of all time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you are that good. All three of you are that good. But it's something as women, we struggle with that confidence piece, right? It's not easy. It doesn't come as natural as I think it does for men. You guys, men, and I'm going to point to you, Matt.
I agree.
Right. So as the coach, let's go to you. How did you motivate the team? Or I know they don't need motivation, but what key strategy or words did you use prior to them going on stage, and how did you get them in that mindset as the coach?
Yeah, so we do a little bit of scouting beforehand, do VOD review, check out what kind of stuff that they're doing. These girls are fantastic at applying information on the fly. So if I ever see something mid-game, they can change it and apply it instantly.
That's great. Part of what we do here at DreamHack is we really push the inclusion and drive diversity in everything we do in the festival. Part of GG4ALL, Good Games for All, is our diversity, inclusivity, and equity CSR initiative. So this clearly falls under universal participation, removing barriers. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, we have CSGO, Impact, that league's taken off, third season, fourth season's gonna start shortly. You know, how do you feel about Rocket League taking that next step and creating off of this amazing win, Rocket Clash, a potential tournament league for you all to lead and participate in? I don't know if you want to take that, Courtney.
I got it. All right. So honestly, it's the whole league stuff would be life-changing. The more I get to see the girls, the better, you know. And Matt, of course, don't worry, I got you.
Thank you.
But it's honestly just such a special moment to meet everyone and have such a good time.
Yeah, what would that mean to you, Bella?
I mean, it would mean everything. I'm so grateful for like what we have already, and I just know Rocket League, like women's cardball, has so much potential to grow even more as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Rebecca, I'm gonna throw this to you. If you could give our audience some context around what you've seen at the start of Rocket League cardball, right?
Yeah.
And where you see it going. Why don't you give us that historical context?
Well, I will say that what DreamHack has done with really amplifying and creating a space for not just these winners, but all of the women flying from all over the world, the absolute best women's Rocket League players in the world, to compete at an event that is world-renowned, is unprecedented. I mean, it is our first LAN. It like I have tingles even saying that. These women are so elite, and creating safe spaces for women at the top to compete against each other. You know, iron sharpens iron, and the more, year after year, I've been watching these girls just flourish and become absolute goats in this space. And I think what building the future, you know, we've got 49% of women play video games, only 8% are in esports. So how do we level the playing field? And I think DreamHack's is gonna be a huge component of being able to do that on a really solid foundation, where the players, brands, everyone's gonna feel confident and really feel like the investment that they're putting in is gonna pay off. You know, I take a look at what women's cardball had done historically as a pathway to the pros. There's no barrier for any of these women to be picked up by an RLCS team. And it is my absolute goal as a leader for women in the industry to see that happen. And I believe that we're at the cusp of that.
Yeah, I feel it too. I think the momentum is shifting in our direction. But historically, I'd love to. I'm going to throw this at you, Courtney. Can you tell our audience a little about any struggles or challenges that you personally went through or experienced that you can share with us? Because I really think a large percentage of people don't understand how truly challenging and difficult it is for women to break through.
Yeah.
And what type of experience we receive versus what type of experiences men receive when they start in gaming.
So I get a lot of weird comments. I wouldn't say, I feel like everybody gets hate. I get some hate, some because I'm a woman, some because I'm a transgender woman, but so I get some weird comments, but honestly, it just pushes me more forward. I try not to let the hate get to me, and I use it as motivation.
Yeah, I think that's a positive attitude, but there's a lot of young players similar to you that they give up, right?
Yeah.
Is there any words of advice or you'd say to them, don't give up, or?
Surround yourself around a great group of people. That really drives me to be the best, and honestly make connections and make memories. These memories will overcome all the weird comments, all the hate you get, and just literally enjoy every moment you have.
Yeah, well said. So Bella, tell me, what was your experience like when you were starting out?
I just feel like there's a really common perception that women can't be good at video games, and I just want to change that. Like, I just want to prove that we are, and we can be.
Did you have family that supported you in video games? Were they excited, like were mom and dad or brothers and sisters?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
My family's really supportive.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Kate, all right. What's your experience? How was it positive, or did you have challenges that you had to overcome as well?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of challenges, and I think I still do. I also work as an agent in the esports space, so I think that I also had the misconception that when I got into the more professional side of esports that it would get better, and it has, but I also think that I still experience it every day. So at least for me, the thing that I've always said is that it has to not only come from women like pushing that and, being stronger and setting examples, but also that, the fellow men in the community have to, take that on and tend to, say no to their friends who are saying that stuff. You get in a lobby with 5 people, you have one guy saying stuff. If the rest of those 4 people are like, hey, that's like, don't do that, they're going to feel that shame, and they're going to feel like, that might not be okay. And I think that that's kind of going to be, all of these efforts combined is the only way that, we're going to see and have more people feel comfortable.
Yeah, achieve that positive change, right? And I think allies with men within Rocket League, outside of Rocket League, is super important in helping us to establish that and pushing us forward. I agree with you. That said, Matt, what are you doing about that as the coach? So are you outwardly, talking on social? Are you positioning the team so that they're welcome in all places? So what's your plan and strategy around that?
Yeah, I'm personally not a huge social media guy myself, but definitely for me and Gen.G as an org, we're always here to support the girls in anything that they need. We're definitely always looking out for them, and if anybody is coming after them or saying bad stuff, we've always got their backs.
Yeah, and I think we were talking earlier, there's also Gen.G Mobile 1, which is the men's team. So how do you guys integrate coaching strategies? Is it similar, or is it really different? And if it's different, why is it different? Because it's the same game, right?
Yeah, it is the same game, but every team is different. So even if they're within the same org, there's different players, they have different play styles. We really don't cross-reference too much, but we do have that support being within the same org to be able to touch base with each other in case we have concerns or questions that, like, hey, get an outside perspective from a second person.
Gotcha. Okay. So what's the future? What's the next step for Gen.G Mobile One Racing Black? Such a long name. But what's the plan for you three now?
We can't get complacent. We have to keep putting in the hours. We want to keep going, keep pushing to continue being at the top. It's once you get there, you got to make sure you maintain it.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling that you guys will. You are determined. So Rebecca, I want to throw this back at you. What do you want to see come out of this win?
I think that this is giving the opportunity to really highlight and go to market with what women in Rocket League can be for the future. Now we have something that is so groundbreaking, done with absolutely the highest level of production, that tells a story to, there's brands sitting and waiting and wanting to support through their DEI initiatives, women in esports initiatives. And I think, together, we, from players, teams like Gen.G, who are taking on paying these players to compete. Not every team that is competing in women's carball has a brand and has an org supporting them and behind them. And I think this really shows organizations, brands, the industry as a whole, that when you saw the people literally clogging the hallways, watching this match, the energy in this entire stadium was like phenomenal. It just shows what we can do. We've all known it. We've had a lot of struggles over the years, and we've just really needed the industry to believe in us. And I think what Gen.G's done in this big win is going to, that's the proof. And now we can, put our heads high and our shoulders back and get the bag. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
And we appreciate your guys' support. I mean, you are such a strong leader, in DEI, and we appreciate you because you're paving the way. And as women who, it wasn't there for us, and now we can build it for them, and they're going to build it for the next generation.
Yeah, agreed. And that's the whole thing. Everything's about positive forward movement together. We can't do it alone. So thanks for that, Rebecca. So before we wrap this up, I want to hear from anyone that wants to jump in. What advice do you have for young women players coming up right now? What's the biggest thing you can leave the audience with in understanding? Courtney. The thought bubble just came up above your head.
Like I said earlier, surround yourself with amazing people. It may be rough to find your group at first, but you will with time, and stay close to them, connect with them, and enjoy the moments that are well. And when you have downtime, just try to think about the positives and force yourself to push forward.
Love it. All right, on that note, we're going to end with Courtney's last word. I want to thank my panels here, Rebecca, Matt, Kate, Bella, and Courtney. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of this dynamic team, Gen.G, and looking forward to more wins in the future. Congratulations, Gen.G.
Thank you.
Thank you.